Right, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Lexus RX 400 hybrid. This is the SE Navigator model, probably the most popular colour choice of all, or the most sought after certainly. Black with a full black leather silver trim interior. This is the Navigator model with sat nav and hands-free, rear parking camera. And this car has done a scarcely believable 38,000 miles from you in the last 13 years. Absolutely incredible car. Really is lovely. But I'll go around the car for you. Front offside bumper corner, very clean. All the lights and lenses on the car, very, very nice indeed. Bonnet of the car hardly exhibits a stone chip of any note on there at all. It's incredibly clean, as you'd expect with such a low mileage on the vehicle. There will be the odd one which, you know, the camera won't pick up, but you'd have to look very hard for it. Near side of the vehicle, just go down the panel work there, you can see it's absolutely clean as a whistle in the panel work. It really is. There's no indentations at all on there. Front wing, again, absolutely unmarked. Front near side wheel and alloy's generally good, just a tiny bit of pickling which is starting to come through, which you'd expect on what is an original wheel. It's not been painted or sprayed by anybody. This is the odd wheel out, or odd tyre out I should say. It's the only, all the tyres are Bridgestone apart from this one, which is a Dunlop, which is hardly a bad thing given the fact that they're all premium brand tyres. Again, a very good sign of ownership. I do apologise, it's a windy day today, so I'm holding the microphone close to my mouth, so I hope it comes out okay. So panel work really extraordinarily clean. Rear alloy really clean and tidy. All the tyres have tons and tons of tread on them as well, by the way. But then say panel work down this side, absolutely fantastic. Come around the back of the car, again all very clean. There will be the odd minor mark, don't get me wrong, this is a used vehicle, albeit with very low mileage, but it is a 13-year-old car, but you'd be hard pressed to find a better one in all honesty. Then to come to the off side of the car, as with the near side, I can't see any indentations in the panel work at all. Rear wings lovely and clean. Rear alloy on the offside here, again very clean indeed. And the remainder of the panel work, absolutely beautiful. You know, it really is a very nice car. Very rare to find in this condition and mileage. Then the final alloy, this is the only one that's got a little bit of curbing around the outside of the wheel. But obviously there's no point sort of painting one wheel because it just kind of detracts from the originality of the car. But overall, looking at a car in really exceptional condition. It's coming into the boot area now. Nice big size boot, beautifully finished inside. Build quality in these is, you know, really exceptional. But the carpeted areas, you know, they almost look as new. In all honesty, it really is in fabulous order. So you can pop up these little back panels up as well, give you extra stowage area there. And what's nice is, again, all being kept really nice and clean and tidy under there. And these little recesses just in there, which are indentations, and then down there as well, you can fit the parcel shelf of the vehicle if you don't want to use it, or tonneau cover rather, and just pull it across and put a bit in there, so you've got somewhere nice and convenient to store that without sort of chucking it in the back of your garage somewhere. All the tools, everything, all the original stuff is all with the car. Again, all nice and neatly presented as you expect in a Lexus car. Obviously on these cars as well, you get electric tailgates. Just want to show you this working before I forget. But it all works exactly as it should. You can operate it off the key, off the boot lid there, or there is a button inside the car as well if you so wish. Let's come to the back of the car now. Rear door card. Looks absolutely beautiful. The interior of the car is in fantastic condition. Full set of original Lexus mats fitted inside the car. Back of the front seats, door card on that side, absolutely stunning condition. And the leather work looks pretty much as new. It looks absolutely amazing. It's coming to the front of the car now. Again, driver's door card really clean and tidy. Footwell areas all really nice. Obviously you've got a multi-directional electric driver seat there with memory settings on these cars, but the seat itself and the bolsters are in fantastic condition, and it really does, belie the age of the car certainly, but fits absolutely perfectly with the mileage of the cars you'd expect. And then coming across to the front passenger seat, again, absolutely beautiful condition. So sitting inside the car now, engine or hybrid system's running exactly as it should be all the way through the video. Say front passenger door card there, again, absolutely beautiful. The interior is in gorgeous condition, it really is. Obviously you've got your navigation screen there, all working exactly as it should. And if I pop the car into reverse, you can see the gridded parking camera, high definition one, really clear as a bell. But it really is beautiful in here. Come across the main binnacle of the vehicle, just a pan in there for you, hopefully you can see that. 38,278 miles only on this car, obviously no warning lights at all on the vehicle. So the video, in all honesty, doesn't really do it justice in here. It is, one of the very best we've ever seen. Just quickly show you, quite often overlooked, full owner's manual pack for the car, and lock and wheel nut set is here and present with this vehicle. So finally, just coming under the engine bay, really beautifully presented by Lexus. Obviously hybrid system, so the engine is designed to cut in and out as and when the hybrid system tells it to do so. Car's literally just been serviced, so it doesn't need anything for another 12 months or so. What will follow this video even, will be a road test of this very car. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Lexus RX 400. It's obviously a hybrid car. This is the SE Navigator model. This particular car is registered LB55MRO. And what's lovely about this car, which makes it very rare indeed, is it's only covered 38,272 miles. The reason we do the road tests, as I say, in all of them, is very simple. We just want customers to see the cars in operation prior to coming to see us. That way, if there are any issues with the vehicle, I do, and I will let you know about it. We've been on the receiving end ourselves, going to see cars only to find out they've got a fundamental problem with the car, which we should have been told about, and we don't want that to happen to you. So if there's an issue, you get to know about it. Also done on the same very quiet roads just outside our premises, so it should be representative of what you should see and feel yourself if a test drive is offered, obviously if you're interested in buying the car. So coming to the car itself, as soon as you switch the ignition on, go straight into hybrid mode. Engine engages smoothly, quietly, and it just sounds wonderful. Obviously it's very low mileage, you'd expect the engine to be good, and it doesn't disappoint in any way. It's wonderfully smooth in operation, utterly quiet, and just ridiculously seamless in the way it goes about its business. Worth pointing out, there's absolutely no warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car, just a low fuel light on at the moment, which will go out once I put some fuel in it. Temperature gauge running at just under half, which is exactly where it should be on a Lexus car, petrol, diesel or otherwise. Engine then goes through into the Lexus CVT gearbox, which is a brilliant match and a brilliant idea for this car. It just means the whole thing comes together as one. If you've not driven one of these things before, it's just a technical marvel. Brilliantly reliable over huge mileages as well, far more so than their competitors. But it's the way it does it. Years ago someone told me, how does a Rolls-Royce drive? This is kind of how I'd imagine it. It just glides along, it's smooth, it's quiet, but it's just the way, if you want to put your foot down to go, it picks up speed, but there's no gear change, so it's just you're just hurled towards the horizon with nothing to annoy or aggravate in any way. So pulling out junctions like this, you put your foot down, you hear the engine sing a lovely V6 bellow rather than a kind of a grumbling diesel underneath, and it just sort of catches up with the revs. It's a wonderful sensation, and as I said, if you haven't driven one, let's just go and drive one. They are an amazing car. But the point of the video is to pick up on any issues. Clearly with that mileage you wouldn't expect any from the engine or gearbox, and I hate to disappoint, I can't find anything at all. It drives absolutely brilliantly. It feels like a low mileage car, even though the car's 13 years old now. It just doesn't feel like it in any way, shape or form. Steering of the car, lovely. Track's dead straight. There's no vibrations coming back to the steering wheel. It's a nice fluid power steering system. You go through corners like this, you just give it a nice turn in, holds its station very well indeed. The chassis of the vehicle responds very nicely as well. I'm not going to pretend, and it is not a sports car. It's not intended to be, but it is more capable through the corners than you'd give it credit for. Given the fact that it's quite a tall, upright four-wheel drive car. But it's a very, very, very comfortable car. The most comfortable riding car in its class by a country mile. It really is. There's no strange noises from the steering or the suspension of the vehicle, which suggests things like kind of drop links, anti-roll bar links and that kind of stuff underneath is all in very good order, which clearly you'd expect with such a mileage on the car. But it's, as I said, it's just the way it rides is just so cosseting and smooth. Brakes, by the way, as I just found out, there's no pulsing, no vibrations coming back through the brake pedal at all in very good order. Is a wonderful, wonderful car, this. Obviously what I'm also listening out for at speed is just any kind of wind hiss coming in, which may come from a sort of damaged sunroof seal or windscreen seal or even a door seal being damaged, but it's as smooth and as quiet as you'd expect one of these cars to be. It's very, very quiet indeed. Not wishing to labour the point, but guess what, it's very quiet. The interior of the car, we've not cleaned it yet. I mean, it looks absolutely sensationally clean. Again, such low mileage, you would expect it to be nice, and it is beautiful in here. Black with a silver trim looks lovely on the car. All working beautifully well. Dead simple and easy to use. Obviously the sat nav, you can see they're working absolutely perfectly. Air conditioning's been checked, pumps out cold air. Heated seats work absolutely perfectly as well. So, all the instrumentation, there's all pixelations exactly as it should be, but it just feels just a lovely place to sit and drive, for a short trip or 10 hours on the road. I mean, they are brilliant cars, and I've had loads of them, so I know just what these things are like. I've suffered with a bad back, lower back pain, and I just don't get any issues with my back on these things. But it's the build quality. That's the real thing about these. They are just astonishingly well-made cars. They are, it's true build quality, as I always say in these videos. This is how a car is after many, many years on the road, and Lexus hold together better than virtually any car in my experience. Clearly, if you're looking at one of these, you may well be cross-shopping, or quite often people do, between this and its natural competitors will be things like Mercedes ML, possibly Audi Q7, or it's a bit bigger, but certainly BMW X5. But I have to say, in this kind of terrain, country roads, mix of driving, I've had all of them. I've driven them. I've also owned all of them at one stage, and nothing, in my opinion, and it's only an opinion, so don't sort of shout at me. Nothing drives as well as these. They ride better along these roads than any of them. I mean, the X5, roads like this, it's just plain uncomfortable. Great on the open road, on A roads and motorways, they're fine, but roads like this, I just can't abide the things. MLs of this vintage are, less said the better, and the Q7 is just gargantuan. They actually ride quite well. It's the closest in ride comfort to one of these, but they're much more patchery, and you can hear them thudding along. But all of them are cursed by, big turbo diesels if you want the economy that these things can get, or try to get, because on the long trips I've done, I was always getting sort of 3 or 4 mpg better out of one of these than I was out of the equivalent competitor. But it's the reliability that's the difference. It's we won't sell those other makes anymore just because they're they're bottomless pit when it comes to finances. The Lexus, by contrast, hardly ever goes wrong, and it's not to say they don't or can't or never do, because clearly, of course, they do. They're a car, they're a machine, and they're, you know, but they just go wrong far less often, and most of the time far less seriously as well. But as I said, the point of this video, as much as anything else, was to show the car in operation, give my feedback on it, but also to raise any issues that there might be with the car, of which I can find nothing at all to report back, as I wouldn't have expected. You know, I've driven it previously, but also, you know, the mileage suggests, you know, it would be good, and it is an amazing, amazing car. So whoever's lucky enough to get it next, good luck to you. It's a wonderful car. If, however, I've missed anything on the video, don't hesitate, please, as always, do give me a call, and I'll answer any questions you might have.